Hey Pisces, welcome to Aria Moon Tarot, and thank you so much for being here. This is your love reading for anyone with sun, moon, or rising in Pisces. It's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't, check your other placements. All right, let's get started. First, we have the 12th house. So this is about introspection. I think this person might be on a little bit of a journey to finding themselves. They might be trying to understand themselves a little bit better. Let's see what other energy is at play here. Oh, we have 5th house, creativity. So we have here with this number 29, we have the number 11. And we also have the number 5 with this 50 change. I feel like the number 11 has been really significant in, I know for sure in reading number 2, I can't really remember in reading number 1 if the number 11 came out, but I think it did. I think that there's a lot of like awakening and ascension going on right now, probably in the collective, because it feels like that energy is coming out pretty often. So this person might be like noticing signs and synchronicities. They might be going through some sort of an ascension process, some sort of growth process. And it looks like for this, in this case, for this person, a lot of this growth has to do with knowing themselves and understanding themselves. So I think at this time, they might actually be getting in touch with some of their passions, some of their creativity, maybe learning to express themselves. But this feels like it's coming from a really authentic place, like that they've taken some time to kind of explore their inner world a little bit, figure out like who they are, what they want, what they like, and then they might be like getting into some things that help them to express that a little bit more. Getting to know themselves is really important to them right now. So they may have realized that they weren't being completely authentic. I think for a lot of people, this could be that kind of the way that they were being inauthentic in life was that I feel like they might have become jaded. I feel like they might have taken on a very negative view of the world, and they kind of lost their like childlike playfulness. It could be because of like things that happened years before, but I feel like they arrived at a place where they realized that they really weren't being themselves. It feels almost like they were being this version of themselves that the world created, like that the harshness of the world created, or that the harshness of people around them created. And I think that that's not really who they want to be. And they've kind of like turned inward to find out who they really are, like to find out who they would be if it weren't for outside influences that have molded them and shaped them into somebody that I feel like someone they're not happy with. I'm not sure if I mentioned 5s being about a lot of change, but this can be about like rapid growth and change. And I feel like this is a change for them. I think maybe even taking the time to be introspective in the way that they are right now is a change for them. And this idea of them expressing themselves and expressing their true authentic selves and getting in touch with that childlike part of them. The reason this is so important to them is because who they were as a child is probably the most authentic version of them. Like before they had the experiences that they had, before they were in some cases like kind of beat up by life, they had this certain nature about them, and it's like they want to get in touch with that again. I feel like their main focus here, I mean, in addition to getting to know themselves, is really they're trying to figure out how to be happy, how to be whole. This is a huge focus for them right now. A lot of this could have to do with this connection. We'll look into the tarot cards in a little bit and see how this plays into the connection. But I do think that there's kind of a message coming through that this person's trying to figure out how to be happy without you. And this could be that they are consciously trying to stay separate from you for some reason. But what I'm picking up on more is that they're trying to figure out how, with this void in their life, they can be happy. So that kind of gives me the feeling that this person might feel that they can't reach out to you, because I'm already kind of picking up on like the desire to connect with you, and kind of like, okay, I'm really drawn to the World card that you selected. So for some of you, I'm wondering if this is because you're actually at a physical distance from this person, and that's the separation. So this might be that they can't physically be close to you right now, and they're trying to figure out how to be happy in that scenario. Like they're trying to figure out how that can be their reality, and how they can also find some kind of joy. Because I feel like this is a search for joy here, and a search for a connection with themselves. So they might actually be figuring out like a lot about self-love right now, and really tapping into a more innocent part of themselves. Like that innocent child like part of themselves is what I think that they're really tapping into. I feel like this person might be spending a lot of time alone right now. It's not the kind of energy that feels like it's like a depressing kind of energy, or like it's a very lonely energy, but it feels like they will value their time to themselves because they want some time to reflect. Yeah. I think they're trying to get quiet and listen. Something has made them want to slow down and listen. And I do believe that it's something about this connection actually triggered them to want to get to know themselves on this deep level, to want to understand themselves more. It could have presented a problem in this connection, like not understanding themselves in some way, and especially at a physical distance. I feel like that might tie into this somehow. If they have to make choices or decisions to walk away from some scenario in their life, they might be confronted with a lot of questions about why that's hard for them, or I think their belief is being challenged. I think if they have to make big decisions when it comes to this connection, they want to be really sure about where they stand internally and what's true for them. And they also might question why they've been hesitant to make these choices, like what they might be clinging on to in the past. And with this fifth house energy, and kind of the message that it was giving me, like tied to children. So this might have something to do with this person's childhood that's making them question this. They might have children. That could be a reason that they've had maybe some hangups, or that things have been a little bit harder. But something about this connection, a lot of messages about the connection already are coming through. So I think that this connection is influencing what's going on in this person's life a lot. And I think a lot of it is because it triggered them to ask some questions and to want to reflect a little bit more and figure out what's going on within them, and what decisions they want to make from a really true and authentic place. So let's see what the tarot says. We're still looking into what's going on in their life right now. We have Temperance, we have the Nine of Wands, and we have the Three of Wands in reverse. I'm going to be honest with you. This person doesn't know what they're doing. I feel like this person doesn't have any idea what they're doing. It doesn't look like they have a lot of belief that they're on the right track. I think looking at this, they are on the right track. This introspective energy is what's going to help propel them forward, and it's probably going to help this connection a lot in the long run. But I think that whatever steps this person is making to better themselves or to connect with themselves, I think they're doing all of this subconsciously, and they don't realize that they're actually putting the wheels into motion. I think this is not somebody who, like, I don't think that they sat down and consciously decided to do any of this. It might be that life circumstances are just lining up so that they find themselves in this position, but it's like they do not have a lot of belief that they are making progress. And they are making progress, and they don't see it. This can be really frustrating for them. So I do think that they're in kind of an irritating energy because they feel like they're not getting anywhere. I feel like they can see what they're doing, but they just don't feel confident that it's going to lead them to where they want to go. And it's like, it feels like it's taking too long. The Temperance card is about patience. It's about balance. And I think in some ways they are exercising a lot of patience here because they're going through this process of self-discovery. But at the same time, it's like it's taking too long for them. And it can be frustrating for them. It feels like no matter how much success they have, they still feel like they're losing. It feels like there's some boundary that's still in place. Yeah, there's something, there's some boundary that's still in place. The weird part about this is that the Nine of Wands can be read in two different ways, and I feel, well, I mean, in this scenario, I'm reading it in two different ways. It can be read in a lot of different ways. But in this scenario, I'm seeing this as walls that this person still has up, boundaries that they still are keeping in place. And I'm also seeing this as their persistence. So I'm kind of seeing this as an offshoot of this Temperance card, because in so many ways, they're exercising a lot of patience. They are really sticking to this. And it's like they're almost there. That Nine of Wands energy is that feeling of almost being at the end of a cycle, almost being at a point of breakthrough. And all this introspection that they're doing is leading them to this point of breakthrough, but they don't really see it. They don't think that they're getting anywhere. It feels like they're going through some kind of test right now, and they really don't realize how close they are to the finish line. They feel like they're just spinning their wheels. I think if you're waiting for this person to reach out, it could take them a little bit because they're still trying to figure out what they want here. They're still trying to work on this period of, be in this period of self-reflection. I think there's a lot of passion here. There's a lot of passion in this person's life in general. So they might be discovering some things that they feel passionate about. And I think there's a lot of passion in this connection. And I think this separation might be intensifying that for this person, because we have all this Wands energy here and the fifth house with that creative nature to it. It's a really kind of fiery energy. It's a really it's the energy of creation, the energy of producing something. So it's like they really want something to come of this, and I think the separation is like lighting that fire for them. But we are looking at their life in general. So in general, I think they are discovering a lot of their passions. And I do think that this connection is one of them. If this connection had a lot of influence from outside forces, family members, friends, or people who tried to get in the way of this connection, I feel like part of this introspection has to do with that. I think it has to do with them really figuring out what they want and not listening so much to what other people want for them, finding out what is true. Let's see how they are feeling when it comes to this connection. Had a lot of cards come out. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of worry and anxiety with this Nine of Swords. I think this introspective energy could actually be along the same lines. I think there's a lot of worry that the progress isn't being made, and I think even doing this much reflection has a way of putting this person into a little bit of a dark place. There might be some dark thoughts that come to mind, or some situations that seem like they're really difficult for them to overcome. The other cards that came out were the World, the Page of Swords, and the King of Wands. So again, we're talking about these passions. So how are they feeling about this connection? They're worried. I'm not going to lie to you about that. They're worried about this connection because they think that the progress that they're trying to make is taking too long. And they don't even think that they're getting anywhere. So not only is it taking a really long time, but it's like not producing anything in their minds. I don't think that that's true. They feel like they don't know what they want to do or where they want to go. If this connection involves like some form of relocation, I'm really getting that from the World card and also from the Three of Wands in reverse, because the Three of Wands in reverse to me is like, it's like not having your map. The Three of Wands is all about putting plans into action and knowing like how you want things to go, knowing how you want them to pan out, looking out onto the horizon and seeing what you're trying to create. And in reverse, it's really giving me a feeling of like, I don't know what I'm looking at. Like, I don't, like my compass is broken and I don't know which direction I'm going in. So if relocation is a part of this, I don't know why sometimes it takes me so long to pick up on things, but you picked the world and you got the world. I do think that this connection could be one that is at a distance. That could be a lot to do with what the separation is about. There might be the need to relocate in order to bring this together, and I think there's a lot of confusion and a lot of worry and a lot of anxiety around that for this person. Yeah, I think that they really just don't feel like they're getting any closer to an answer or getting any closer to a solution. And I actually do think that they are. They just really don't see it. So we have the Page of Swords and the King of Wands. And I do think that this person is like working on stepping into this more commanding King of Wands energy. Like somebody who can be a little bit more straightforward about their feelings. It feels like the major thing this person is working on has to do with their passions and the expression of those passions. They feel really, really passionate, and it almost feels like they're very well developed when it comes to recognizing these passions, but the expression of them is where they're tripping up. It's very young and immature energy with the Page of Swords. It feels almost like they get choked up, like they get tongue-tied, like, and a lot of that worry is coming from that same place about how they might want to express, if they can express. So we have, you don't know how hard it was to let you go. We have a lot of cards fall out. That one flipped over, so I'm going to take that one, and we'll see what other messages we get. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of worry here, and there's a lot of self-discovery. There's like this energy of really needing to figure things out. I couldn't let you get close to me. Yeah, they feel like they're at a standstill and they don't really know which direction to go. I actually meant to pull some Romance Angels cards before those messages, so let's pull them now. Again, I get that feeling that there might be a physical distance, and that card, I couldn't let you get close to me, could have a more literal meaning for some of you. And that could be like if there were talks of you moving closer to them or them moving closer to you. These could all be things that are playing into this connection. Like they might have put the brakes on right at the time that it seemed like things were getting serious. We actually had this card come out in the last reading. What's interesting here, if I put these in a different order, it's like getting to know each other. So the beginning of the relationship, engagement, children, like, I think that this person saw a natural progression with you. They saw moving forward. And for some reason, when I see this like laid out like this, I think they saw it moving forward with you really, really fast. It's almost like they wanted to, like, soon after they met you, they wanted to like lock it down in some way, maybe literally get engaged or just make some sort of commitment. They might have thought about starting a family. It feels like maybe some outside factors, potentially distance, could have been the problem here. But also, they got in their head about this. Like, they really, I feel like something made this person hold back. Something made this person not feel confident enough to make their own decisions. And that's why they're in this period of self-reflection, of introspection. Because they want to know, like, they want to get their map back. They want to have their compass back. They want to know which direction they want to go in. Let's get some more messages from your person. Okay. So we have, I don't want to let you go. I feel like that's that anxiety that they're feeling. We also had, this is getting serious. This kind of brings me back to this energy I was feeling with these cards, like things moving really fast. I feel like that's how they felt about this connection. Like it got serious so fast. Or like they wanted to move forward so fast that it might have scared them a little bit. We have, you've changed me. So I don't think that this person is going to be the same. I feel like this introspection that they are going through is a part of how they are never going to be the same again after, after meeting you. And we also have, you are so incredible. Yeah, I think that's all the messages that I see. I think that this person really wants to find a way to deepen this connection and to express more of what they want. It feels like something is holding them back. And that there is really a lot of worry and anxiety about it. And I think a lot of it is not warranted. There may be like real situations in their life, but I really do think that this person's making progress. And in that sense, they shouldn't worry so much, because I do think that they're making progress in the right direction. Yeah, I think for a lot of you, I know this won't resonate for everyone, but for a lot of you, distance is a concern here. Children could be a concern here, and outside influences. And this is what's on this person's mind. This is what's worrying them. And communicating about how they feel about you, especially like the passion. There's so much passion that came through in this reading. So the passion is there, and communicating all of that and making the progress, making the decision. I feel like if they knew which way they wanted to go, or if they could make sense of the mess that they see in front of them, they would be able to make a move. But it feels like when they look at the scenario, it's like overwhelming them, and there are situations that they feel are out of their control, or big obstacles that they have to get over. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's all the messages I see for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If this reading resonated for you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. And hopefully I'll see you again in another reading really soon. Bye!